Oh, that's right. My character's having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, I'm there.
And welcome to Monday Nights here at Proficiency Bonus for our characters having mental breakdowns. My name is Matthew, your somewhat mental dungeon master for this evening. Before we jump into things, I want to give a couple of quick shout outs. I want to say thanks to Cardboard Castle Games. They're located in Evans, Georgia. You can use it in our chat. You can type in !CCG. Give you a link to their website. Check them out. If you happen to be local, traveling through the area, swing by their brick and mortar location. Let them know we sent you. Then you can also put an ! Little Dragon into chat. And that'll give you a link to Little Dragon's website. They sell all manner of dice and other fun tabletop stuff there. You can use the discount code BONUS on their website, get 15% off your order, and they do ship anywhere on the globe. So definitely check them out. Let them know we sent you. And with that being said, actually, as you notice, currently we are sans in art this evening. So Artemis will be on Roleplay Light, and Furia should be with us in just a few moments. So we've got Furia's picture currently sort of just empty. But we're going to jump into Last Timers. Our party has had an interesting evening in Everland as they made their meeting with their strange little invisible friend. As they made the appearance and began their conversation, their, I suppose I'll call her former friend, Rose, struck, finally betraying the party as she had intended, and attempted to aid her clanmates in not only obtaining the young Emil, but as well as their own stabby granny, Sarah. Battle ensued. Eventually, the party, through multiple explosions, lightning bolts, and strangely enough to Murdoch's point, a firm lack of city guards. The party has won the evening and has disappeared after tossing the bodies into the river, back to their inn to hopefully sleep the night away and then promptly depart the city in the morning on the chartered riverboat that Lydia was able to help them obtain for a slight cost. So with that, we turn the adventure over to the party. From when we were all last together, you guys have made your way back to the inn. No further issues with your new young friend in tow. People have gone to various rooms. Is there anything people would be taking care of this evening, or are we just jumping to the next morning?
I know I did what I wanted to do by sending that message, so I tucked in a meal and went to sleep.
I'm sorry?
I tucked in a meal and went to sleep because I sent that message already. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right. You were like, hey, trade you for my body.
Yeah.
Did I tell Sarah that all we need for the spell to talk to her husband is some diamond dust?
Yeah, you told her that you would get in contact with him. I don't know if we said specifically it was diamond dust you needed. I thought it was done.
I think it's diamond dust. It's either diamonds or diamond dust.
I think it was like diamond dust, like $500.
500 gold worth, yes.
Yeah. So we just need to either powder some of our diamonds or see if we have actual dust. But I will specify that that night. That is what we need. So if you ever see some,
Let us know, don't steal it.
or diamonds that we can crush into diamond dust. But that's all.
I know Sarah was going to ask Artemis to teach her magic, but
So, I do remember that you and Artemis did have that conversation last time we were together.
yeah.
And Artemis had said that they would make the attempt. I will say, given our lack of art for this evening, Art is probably a little shaken. As they got a little emotional during this combat, and there was a lot of
Yeah.
explosions and fire getting thrown around. So as you bring it back up to Art, Art's like, give me a couple of days, and then we'll start.
Okay, dearie.
Then promptly curls up in their bed and sucks up.
Okay. If that's the case, then yeah, we can probably just skip to the next day.
Okay.
Unless Emil has okay.
No, he didn't have anything. So.
Evening passes quietly for all of you. Again, as you awake in the morning, some of you expecting to hear the tromp of heavily booted feet coming to your doors. You find it strangely quiet.
Am I supposed to? I'm gonna ask the group. Did you want to talk to Rose's corpse today or not? Is that something I can do? I know it sounds morbid, but if you want to answer, so that's something I could allow it to happen.
I don't know. Maybe when we get more away from town. Maybe when we finish the boat ride.
Do we have her corpse?
I
No.
didn't take it because
No,
I
think we
was
left
gonna.
No, I
She's
think one of
just
you threw.
ashes.
No,
Furia.
Rose
I
wasn't.
think Furia.
Furia got it.
Yeah, somebody
okay.
threw it in a
Yeah.
bag of holding. One of you guys
Yeah,
grabbed it.
Furia. definitely did.
Murdoch and Furia are the ones that have them, and Murdoch tried to and couldn't bring herself to, and then Furia did later after I left.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Is that something I should prepare for the day?
I don't think we need it today.
Okay.
Maybe on the journey.
Okay.
Am I allowed in the kitchen of this inn?
You can certainly try.
This is one of my favorite things that you do.
I'm going to try. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can convince the owner to let me use the kitchen. I'll leave extra. Mm,
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
23.
He
Also,
looks
I
at you and
forgot
says, better be good then. Go.
to- Woohoo! Okay. Oh man, I didn't think of tasty, yummy things today.
Just some eggs, just a waffle. You ever made a waffle?
Ooh,
She-
Belgian waffles.
Warm
I don't
bread.
know where Belgium is, but I hear their waffles are delicious.
So good.
Does she usually do this?
When she's allowed to. She likes to cook. Actually,
Especially
you should, if you have any special requests, she normally likes to make things people like.
Oh, I guess I could think about it. I didn't really. Yeah. Okay.
Do you have a favorite food?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, whatever we have is fine with me. But
All right. Well, do you want something to drink? Do you like Milk?
Milk.
I don't know what I don't know what young people
not-
drink. Do you drink tea?
Yes, I'll take some tea. I'm
Oh,
not
good.
a child.
No. You're not a child, but you're not old.
Yes, that's true. Yes, I'll take tea. Thanks.
All right. Well, I'll get. Sarah, do they have tea in there?
Let me check. DM, do they have teas?
Definitely, yes. Now, actually, as all of you start coming down, as Sarah was a little preoccupied, wanting to make sure she could get into the kitchen. So Sarah really didn't notice, but as the rest of you start coming down, you notice that the inn, other than the bartender, is empty, save one individual. A very tall, muscular-looking, dark-skinned man. Slightly curly hair and very dark eyes. As he's sitting at one of the tables, there's a small... You can see the top of a cat's head sitting, just the head itself sticking up over the table. So he's sitting there just running his hands over the head. It's a very interesting looking robe that he's wearing that looks like it has all these different patches all over it. Emil, you recognize this individual.
Okay.
This is the individual who has been helping you remain hidden the last week or so that you've been within Everland.
Okay, and does he see me?
As you come down, he sees you, and you can see a little bit of a crooked smile start to play on his face as he sees you coming down. And
Yeah,
you
I
would
just
recognize
kind
his name is Crowan.
Crone.
Oh.
Okay.
From Val.
That would be correct, sir. Crowan Valhero.
Yeah, I would just kind of acknowledge that I see him with just not a little bit, but try not to bring any undue attention. Just yeah.
Okay.
And we have a Furia.
Hooray! And we have a Furia.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not in combat or anything on fire. You
I'm making
actually
waffles.
Not
We
yet.
just woke up. We just woke
yeah.
up.
The
Yeah.
kitchen's
You can
on
allow
fire.
that.
Sarah's cooking, but...
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay, give me a second, folks, so I can, Oh, no, not that. I want to... Okay, yes. Stop that. Okay, give me a moment. I'm just, our camera's going to go a little wonky for a couple moments as we get everything back in place. Hey, there we are. So, yes, as you're coming down, Emil, and you two sort of make eye contact, you see, it sounds like you were coming down with Murdoch, as Crowan's eyes play across you, glance at Murdoch, sort of looking towards the kitchen. Doesn't say anything yet, is just watching.
Yeah, I'd just nod and remain silent too, and just follow Murdoch, assuming we're gonna probably take a table.
Oh, okay. Lydia, I'm assuming you'd be heading downstairs as well?
I'd be heading down. I would take special note of the cat and where it was, and then I'd hurry down to the table.
So, yep. So as you're walking down, basically he's sitting as you're sort of coming down the stairs. He's on the external. He's sitting on one of the outside walls. So he's in the inn, but against the outside wall, a good distance away from the stairs.
Okay. I
And
would
he's-
still probably cringe at the sight of a cat.
Just petting the head. And then where Fury just arrived, it's basically the morning after everything's happened. Sarah came running down bright and early, started cooking breakfast. Is there anything you'd be doing first thing in the morning?
No, I'd be heading down, same as
Okay.
everybody else.
Then, likewise, you would notice there's an individual sitting there. Again, real quick for you, dark, very tall, muscular male, dark skin, sort of dark curly hair, interesting robe with a bunch of different patches on it. Sitting there, and you can see the head of a cat sticking up over the table. And he's just sitting there, and like one does with a cat, just sort of rubbing the top of the head in between the ears with 2 fingers. The cat's just sort of rubbing up against him. And as you come down, you notice he has looked at each one of you as you've sort of come down, but hasn't said anything. And he is the only one in the inn currently besides you guys and the bartender.
There's no other NPC to interact with.
Oh no.
None. But
Yeah, I'll keep also an eye on him, just, watching him out of the corner of my eye, but I'll act otherwise normal.
Oh, okay. And then eventually the group of you are all seated at a table. Artemis comes down, joins a group of you. Sarah's away cooking. Eventually, as Sarah completes cooking everything, there's water and tea brought out for Murdoch and Emil. I think, Sarah, you said you were making waffles, and Lord
Yes,
only knows what else Granny cooked.
I put the images of the waffles she's carrying in the chat.
Oh, dear word. Give us chat this.
Oh wow.
oh,
There are certain things
Okay.
that must be seen. Oh, dear word. Okay. So I feel, and I apologize for the horrible quality of this image, but I'm going to try. So this
pretty good.
is what Sarah is carrying out for breakfast. Powdered, just it's cholesterol on a plate. Which
She
of course
has,
means
like,
it's delicious.
She has a little, sieve. She's like, anybody wants powdered sugar?
Sure.
I eat a good berry.
Yeah.
I want waffles. Great.
Sarah
And-
puts
Besides, it's probably more healthy anyway.
Sarah puts powdered sugar on a plate in front of Furia.
if this wasn't a fantasy world, I feel like Furia every day puts a bunch of berries and shakes a protein shake, and it's like, all right, I'm good for the day.
And then Grandma's
sit
like,
on
you're
the roof of
too
the van.
skinny.
Yeah.
You're too skinny.
Drinks a
Yeah,
protein shake and then sits on the roof of the van.
Yep.
You all notice that the bartender has a stack of about 5 or 6 waffles next to him as
Yeah.
well.
Nice.
He also has powdered sugar. Emil, would you like?
Yes, please.
So we're going up north to. I can't remember the name of the city.
Yes, that city.
Yeah.
We're going. I think it's kind of northeast
Yeah, I
so-
just forget the name of it.
to
Yep, so you
the.
guys are heading up the River Rauben. The port of call where you're stopping is called Sundabar.
Oh, Sundabar, right? Okay.
It's basically the closest. We'll call it the closest, large-ish city
Subtle.
to the Nether Mountains.
Yeah.
And then, likewise, initially you had planned, I believe, on going to the Nether Mountains with Rose. So not sure where if you're still planning that, or if you're moving further.
Well, Emil still needs to go there, right?
Yeah, don't you want to go
And-
home, Emil, and talk to your family?
Yeah, my family's manor is in Sundabar, so
Okay.
that's
That'd be
unless
perfect then.
you still had to do something for your old companion.
No.
Did-
Jeez.
The original reason why we're going to go to the Nether Mountains was for Sarah. So I think we should still head there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you say manor?
Yes. Why?
No reason. It's just, are you a family of prominence, not providence?
Yes. My father is a wealthy merchant, and yes.
Is he aware of what's going on with you?
Yeah. I mean, we were taken from our house, so my parents must be, but I haven't seen either of them since the night it happened.
I wonder if there's a ransom out because that's what's.
I mean,
Right.
I don't know. I don't even know what happened to them that night.
Oh dear.
We've spoken a little bit. By the way, if you don't want to talk about any of this, that's fine, but I figure if you're traveling with us, it's good to know. And of course, if you have questions about us, I think that's fair. Will we answer them all? They're all under a contract, but not unless it's very important. So, sorry, but
Under contract, okay.
It's a long story.
But you've mentioned that what's going on with you and your sister, right? Your sister
Yes.
has to do with your magic, and you are quite skilled for your age. Did you have some sort of education because of your family?
No, we've just both always, me and my sister, we've always had these abilities, and our mother does too. That's where it came from.
Ah, sorcery.
Ah, yes, that's the term for it. Yeah.
Murdoch's like, yes, the lottery of winning magic.
Do I like sense the like? Do I sense that coming off of Murdoch? Like,
yeah, she's pretty good at not giving away how she really feels. So I think it's just yes, sorcery.
yeah, I mean it's
Known a few.
really like brought more trouble than anything else. So
Magic can be like that. You seemed to be rather in control of it, though.
yeah, I mean I guess that's the one benefit of knowing it since birth. It's just pretty second nature to me at this point.
Trust me, some people are not so lucky. It just goes off from birth. You ever seen a baby cry so loud that they start a fire in their house?
No. God, that sounds terrible.
So, it seems that you're not one of those kinds.
No, I mean I mean not like perfect, but I
Did they find you? Did you find your stuff around Everland then? When you came to, kind of thing. Or
I
Do you
don't
have no
even
idea?
really know where it was they were keeping us. I just first chance I got to escape, I took.
and you found yourself outside of here then, and you made yourself your way into town.
Yeah, and then so it's still only DM as I look around. It's just us and the individual are the only ones still in the inn. I think you're muted.
Yes, it is
One
still
per game.
At least. You notice that it is still only the same individuals within, and he seems to be listening right along.
Okay, so yeah, responding to Lydia, I kind of like look around. Okay, that guy over there, he's the one. He's been helping me, so if you've noticed him, clocking all of you, He's just looking out for me. So
That's kind. Seemed like a good fellow, Emil. It's a shame for you to be on the wrong side. I'm glad.
thank you.
If you're going to be continuing on with us, which, by the way, we have a riverboat to catch at some point today, do you need to inform that person of that? Is he okay with does he know?
I mean,
Yes?
yeah, we can. I just do my thing, and he'll be there basically. So
Murdoch,
he's-
as you ask if he knows,
He knows.
you hear a voice from across the room. Yes, it was quite an interesting show last night.
I mean, I heard a lot of commotion when I went for my evening walk, if that's what you mean. Do you know
I'm
something
glad somebody
about
else enjoyed the same fireworks that I did.
it? I didn't know what we were celebrating.
He looks at the group of you. You seem to have everything well in hand by the time I stopped by, so I just made the terrain look a little different and adjusted some building locations from outside where you were.
Is that a thing? Murloc, can you adjust building location?
Do I know about hallucinatory terrain is what I'm assuming it is?
I would say you are familiar with illusion spells that can be used to change the way things look, smell, sound.
Okay. The magic he speaks of is definitely a thing. We use it with my line of work when we're trying to, not make it seem like certain things happened.
Learn something new every day.
Honestly, they probably used it on that island. What with all of the things that went down there. Friend, are we going to have an extended conversation? Because if so, maybe not from across the room. You can come approach. We don't bite.
Except for the cat.
Hard.
All of us don't bite.
He gives a little bit of a nod and stands up, and as you watch, the cat jumps up and, with a flap of its two wings, proceeds to land up on his shoulder.
Oh, it's gonna eat me as it flies.
Nope, it's just sitting on his shoulder as he walks over and sits down and looks at the group of you. Oh, I'm glad that there was someone else along to help my young friend here. It's been quite a catch. And looks over at Artemis and smirks a little bit but doesn't say anything. Artemis, go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh God. Also, hi. I'm sorry I'm late.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
I didn't know you were gonna be.
Yeah.
Dirty 20.
Okay. You're pretty sure you know why he smirked, as you notice as he's sitting down, the robe that he's wearing sort of just billows a little bit, and you see a pin on the inside of his shirt. Looks very similar to a pin you were given.
Okay, cool. Oh.
But beyond that little, goes back to looking at the group and seems to be more focused on a meal at the moment.
Oh.
Sits down, looks at the group of you. So it seems you are delivering our young friend back home. Is that what I was hearing?
Yeah, more or less. We were heading in that direction and ourselves, so
Honestly, it's something you should have done already, but who am I to judge? Waffle?
Yes, who are you to judge random strangers?
She looks
Magic
into sort of goes,
power.
well, it is so hard to get away from the tower these days. The last time I had to take a trip out into the desert, it was rather disturbing. So I've been dealing with the tower recently.
How did
Always
you come upon a
towers.
meal?
I'm sorry, my dear, what?
How did you come upon a meal?
Well, it's strange. There was a report of a group dealing in, well, some rather underhanded dealings, in my opinion. But they have been... well, I shouldn't say they have been. There have been rumors that they have been abducting those born with innate magical abilities. Not the kind that people like myself and your bright-haired friend here who require study to deal with, but those that are just carry it with them.
Gotcha.
They seek a way to remove it from them and be able to give it to others and themselves.
Oh my god, it's like warlocks all over again.
Like the golden compass.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna whisper to Murda. You can do that.
Not that I know of. Said they're trying. Have they succeeded in doing that?
Not that I've been made aware of, but occasionally as things are brought to my attention or I am lucky enough to catch a glimpse into what this collusion of the Viscounts, as they call themselves, are doing, sometimes it enables me to carefully reach out, shall we say.
Collusion of the Viscounts.
Correct, yes.
Yes, and there were others there besides myself and my sister, but I mean, sometimes people would be taken away and just we'd never see them again.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it was.
The difficult part is it appears that they are either somewhat mobile or there is at least a number of them who are capable of wielding either arcane or divine enchantments, as it is not often that their protections are able to be breached, at least not through the methods I myself have.
Oh my god, I'm gonna need to open up another case file.
I believe you.
just another thing to keep you busy on the trip there, I suppose.
Yeah,
Who are you kidding? You love people. Not fooling anyone.
Speaking of though, I mean, does that has disappearing sorcerers come across my channels at all? Or is this sort of completely new information?
This is not something you have heard of as of yet.
Okay.
As he takes a little bit of time and fills you in with what he does know. Basically, you hear about that there have been, over the course of the last about 6 months or so, there have been a total of 15 individuals that he is aware of that have been taken. They're not all from one area. They're different races. There doesn't really seem to be a pattern according to most people. Those few that he's dealing with have started to piece together that they are all sorcerers of some bent. Whether it's, draconic origins, sons of whatever it might be. They all carry magic within their blood.
Okay. But because I don't want to get things confused, the people we dealt with were more likely mercenaries, and they were collecting Emil for these guys and Sarah for a different thing. They weren't bringing Sarah to these people because she doesn't have magic.
That would be correct, yes.
Okay.
And that's something, again, that's something that you would notice from the bounty. They were collecting on the bounties when you guys were checking the bodies real quick. They had the wanted posters.
And it's just...
You've
they're
got a chance to collect on 2 of them, and you can get a heck of a payday.
So the guys that we were directly dealing with were not necessarily members of the Viscounts. They were just mercenaries.
Correct.
Okay.
Stupid
Thank you.
bounty
I think
hunter
that's-
mercenaries.
Yeah. And then the people on the road were also just...
Stupid bounty hunter mercenaries.
Okay.
Yep.
So we've not actually seen or directly encountered these people as of yet.
Not that you're aware of.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
it looks like 3 moons. Anyway. All right. Well,
Actually, wasn't their leader's name Hex? I can't remember.
oops. All right. Well, it sounds like they are a problem.
He gives a little sort of like a non, well, everyone is a problem to someone, and a solution to someone else.
Yeah, they still have my sister. They're a problem.
Well, that makes them a very large problem for you, my young friend.
I'm sure that we'll be dealing with them more in the time to come, but our current tasks ahead of us have not changed.
Well, luckily, you should have an easy departure this morning, if that is your intent.
Good.
Q. Somehow. Thank you.
There's a little nod and reaches out to you, Emil, and puts a hand on your shoulder. It seems like you are in trustworthy company, and goes into his pocket and pulls out and hands you a sending stone.
I'll take it.
Should you have need, you can reach out. I am not always available, but if I am able to, I will assist.
Okay, thanks for your help thus far.
Gives a little nod again, and as he starts walking out, he gets about 3 or 4 steps away from the table and then sort of turns back and looks at you, Art. Oh, and I do mind gnomes wearing the pin. Not all of them are trustworthy. And just continues to walk away.
Just the gnomes?
I think that was a dig at Artemis.
I think it was a dig at a different gnome.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, that's specifically why he directed the comment to Artemis.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm not good at reading the room.
Honestly, I didn't get it either until you explained it to me. I am not a smart gnome.
What are you talking about? You got like
No.
20 intelligence.
Not IRL me. That was a dump stat, baby.
Aw, you're so clever. Don't say that.
Well.
You make me laugh.
That's intelligence.
Do we have anything else that we need to do here before we get on this boat?
I don't believe so.
No.
All right. Then I say, can we please get out of here?
That too.
By all means.
All right. Lydia, you remember the way, right?
Oh,
Doesn't take you long at all. Eventually you get to the dock. Is the gentleman is there. He's got his boat ready. And as you're traveling, again, you sort of cut through that area where you had this massive battle the evening before. And as you can, as you're looking around, you can see some sort of telltale signs. Like as you're walking through Artemis, you remember a couple of spots where you had thrown fireballs, and you can still see there are some small scorch marks on the ground, but you don't see any blood. Nothing that jumps out screaming that there was a massive battle here the night before.
no bodies in the river.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Well. Nat 1 for a
Nope.
10.
And as you're looking, you can tell the water's moving fairly well. So if there were bodies floating, they're probably a good couple of miles downstream at this point.
Water's good.
Yeah, eventually you all climb onto the boat. Again, the gentleman advised you it's going to be a couple of days sailing to get up there. I believe somebody had bought a couple of fishing rods.
Oh yeah, we did.
Anything that people are going to be doing as you're traveling up north?
Bothering Artemis to teach me magic.
Okay.
Teaching people that want to learn how to fish.
Studying the guns.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be probably sitting on the highest point I can find and brushing up on my flute skills. Otherwise, probably just napping as a cat. In somewhere sunny.
Easy enough to do. Emil, what about yourself?
Probably just enjoying the view since it's his first boat ride.
Okay. And Artemis, I know Sarah is trying to convince you to teach her magic. We did, before we knew that you were going to be here, we did have Art say, hey, give me a couple of days. I'm dealing with, basically, we know Art was a little frazzled after the fight, after causing all those explosions, so.
Yeah, a little bit. They would also kind of go on over to the edge of the dock or the boat before they kind of set off. And kind of just check the reflection and make sure that in fact they have not turned into a cat person.
Hey, you don't even need to make a roll for that one. You look like you.
Okay. That's one less thing to stress about. Okay, good.
Actually, go ahead and make a perception check as you're looking over down into the water.
Okay. 12.
Okay. You can see there is a body on the bottom, wearing heavy armor. You recognize it from the day prior. It's one of the bodies that you guys sunk after the fight.
So that's where he ended up. Oh, okay. Gonna push back from the edge of this. I'll stuff that away right back down there in the brain somewhere. Mm-hmm. Kind of, I don't know. I think they would be up on deck and kind of checking things out.
Oh, okay. So is again your captain starts sort of getting everything underway as he rows out a little bit and then starts putting the sail up so he can start catching some of the breeze to get moving. Just starts a sort of slow, leisurely pace going along, heading towards the northeast. After about an hour or two, he looks at those of you who are still up and around and near him, just says, if y'all wouldn't mind, just keep an eye on the shores. Every once in a while, there's some orcs that like to pop through and take some pot shots, try to pick off and intimidate folks, see what they can get local tradesmen or fishermen and whatnot to offer up. Usually not much trouble, but...
Gotcha.
More than happy to help.
If they pop up, I got a barrel of fish underneath that I caught a couple days ago that if we need be, we can just, toss it over. It'll get them and leave us alone.
Well, if you want to take that route, sure.
I mean, I don't want to get killed, so that's how I typically deal with things.
Fair point.
I think we'd be okay. I think you would be okay. I don't mean to toot our own horn or anything, but we're kind of like super cool, so I think you would be totally alright if like a whole bunch of orcs came and jumped on the boat and not saying that it's gonna happen,
Can you not jinx us?
You watch as this guy who's currently running his ship, and probably about a little less than middle-aged human male, fairly well built, looks down at this tiny gnome, little human boy. As far as he's concerned, a 390-year-old woman, a bunny rabbit.
Meow.
Then he looks over and looks at the Dragonborn as far as he's concerned, and the elf one. I mean, it's okay. Whatever you say, reaches out and just ruffles your hair a little bit. Goes back to managing the ship.
Sort of a big deal.
I mean, we have a lawyer.
Makes this dangerous.
The lawyer who's supposed to make sure that bad things happen less, not just encourage you to do bad things more often because you think that things will be okay.
Oh, that's what you're for. Oh.
Semantics.
Yeah.
That is not what semantics means.
Really, it's short for some antics, as in we're gonna get into some antics. Oh,
Nice, Granny.
a high five, Lydia.
Death glare.
First day, travel goes nice and easy for you. Weather's nice. It's just smooth sailing the whole way. Murdoch, go ahead and... so you said you were spending some time with the guns?
I am spending some time with the guns, and then there will be one more thing that I do before the day is out, I think. But yes.
Oh, okay. So as you spent a little bit of time with them, so you do realize that these are. Let me pull this up here. Yes, a moment. Okay. Pull up what you're dealing with. Okay.
Guns.
So basically, what you're dealing with is these two items are both just basically they're standard pistols in terms of guns, in terms of mechanically what they're used for. So it's basically it reloads on a 4, reload 4, misfires on a 1. Right, basically it's just straight from the gunslinger's stuff from D&D and Mercer's build. Spending time with them, though, you do realize that one of them is in fact magical. It is able to be used as a spellcasting focus.
It's really cool. Okay.
And it also has the ability, once per day, it can be used to cast the spell Chromatic Orb.
Ready.
All right. Would that use my spellcasting stat?
Yes.
It's not a bad spell. And does it forego the need of the diamond for it?
Yep, it's literally, you cast it, the gun does the whole deal.
It's a nice spell. I like that. I like that. Okay. That's cool. I will keep that information close to my chest.
Okay.
The other thing I do at some point before the day ends, that it's still within 24 hours, is I'll be looking over the ship at some point at my reflection in the water. And I'm going to cast Modify Memory on myself and forget that I witnessed Rose dying.
Okay.
Not that I forget she's dead,
Oh my god.
Okay.
but I don't want the memory of me holding her as she burned to death in my brain.
Fair enough.
I could gas you, so it wouldn't be permanent.
So she does that by herself without telling anybody, and then I go back to working on those guns.
Okay.
Just reversed her PTSD.
Yeah.
Cheers.
That was genius.
Just, yeah.
Okay. His first day's travel comes to a close. As you're sailing along. Are you guys setting a watch this evening? Just trusting the captain and his people to deal with it, or?
Is there just like an underside of the boat that we can go into?
Not really. So this is,
Okay.
it's not like a massive ship. You're basically dealing with a slightly oversized fishing boat.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
So there's some like different seats where you could sit near the edge, or spots you could lay in the middle. But basically the entire thing is being run by the captain, and he's got one other sort of, we'll call him a deckhand, who's sort of helping out. And then the group of you.
But it is like a vessel with a sail.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I mean, after all the grandstanding that Art just did about, yeah, you'll be fine if orcs come up and, like, punch the daylights out of you, yeah. they'll stay up.
Okay, so
You
Art's
do,
taking
like-
a watch this evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
There-
do one as well.
Okay.
Sarah will do one as well, and we'll make a point to be like, now we have some time to perhaps peruse the magics, Artemis. Like, what do you have in here? And she's gonna reach for Artemis's bag/book.
I wouldn't do that. Please, just don't. Not that. No, just kind of.
Are you sticking your hand in the bag? Or are you just reaching towards it?
I'm certainly gonna try.
Okay, go ahead and make a
Which
sleight of
one,
hand check. And Artemis, you're facing, so I'll say go ahead and make a perception check.
21.
Um. 24.
Wow. Okay, go ahead and Sarah, as you go to reach into the bag, you don't know how, but Artemis is just knew what you were going to do and manages to just yank their bag away before you can get your hand into it.
Oh, fiddlesticks.
There's many orbs in there, and some of them are not good to touch.
Don't touch the bad orbs.
Don't touch the bad vibes orb. Only for me. No touch for you.
Okay.
If you want to practice magic, we can start small and no orbs.
Maybe mage hands, since she doesn't have to touch anything.
Absolutely not.
Oh, true. Then she would steal everything. Okay.
Absolutely
What's mage hand?
nothing.
What about light?
Yeah, that's what we were going to try something like that. Yeah. Nothing blowy uppy. Nothing throwy thingy. Nothing steely takey.
Okay. So for those of you who are taking a watch, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
I'll take a watch too.
Oh, okay. So there's our whole evening. covered.
Another 21.
Hey. The thief rolling with loaded dice tonight.
I got a
Well-
22.
Okay. Ooh. Well, I got a 9. So
You're busy protecting your bag. It's understandable. And
16.
Lydia?
16.
Oh, okay. So, basically, for the evening passes without incident in terms of serious issues for any of you. Those of you who rolled above a 15 notice that, and I will say, Lydia and Furier probably catch on to this a little quicker than Sarah does, given your more natural bent and your experience. You can see the weather is starting to turn a little bit.
Okay.
It's while the previous day was a beautiful, calm, sunny day, you can see as the dark of the night's rolling through, and then Fury, assuming you're taking the last watch as you typically do, you can see that there are storm clouds off in the distance, and as you're watching, just sort of noticing during your watch, they do appear to be slowly moving towards the group of you. Not sure you might finish your trip in time. They may, if it keeps going this way, they could catch you beforehand, before you're all the way there. It's hard to say at this point. But 3 of you have noticed it. So, Artemis, as you are going through and you're going to be trying to work with Sarah on seeing whether or not Sarah can learn the light cantrip. The cantrip requires the use of either, again, spellcasting focus for the actual spellcaster, but in terms of material components, either a firefly or phosphorescent moss. What are you giving to Sarah to utilize to try to cast this spell?
Oh, I got this. And Sarah's just like on the side of the boat waiting.
Are there fireflies?
There are now.
Are
Sarah,
you
go
just
ahead and make
casting
a
mosquitoes?
dexterity check for me.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know how that is gonna work because I don't have the light cantrip. So
Like,
we
can't
both kind of be literally in the dark.
do you want me to the light cantrip?
I just
I-
assumed you knew.
I rolled a nat 1 for a total of 4.
Oh, this is
Okay.
going wonderful.
As you're out there, and there are just all these little fireflies and lightning bugs, as you're trying to grab one of them just right up the nose.
Yes.
And as you sneeze, it comes out, you actually topple into the water.
Oh goodness.
Oh, look at that! Let me just oh boy. Can you swim? I'm gonna reach out and try and grab. This sucks. Both of us are really tiny.
It's not, you're not standing like 30 feet up. You're in a small, basically fisherman's boat. So you can easily reach the water. Sarah could even probably climb back in on her own.
They're floating away from me.
Oh no.
Bye. No, I'll reach out.
I'll get back in.
Yeah, it's easy enough. Art, as you're reaching down, you have that momentary panic and you go to throw your arm down and your hand hits water as you realize that you've only got about a foot or two between the top of the boat and the water. And easy enough for Sarah to climb in or you to help her get back in. The firefly that had gone up your nose is now been ejected and flown away.
Or another body in the water. So, okay, first of all, love the enthusiasm. However, I don't actually have that spell, as lovely as the suggestion was. So, I'm assuming that we're taking our watch together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Either that or, one of you bumps up to the other, so this can be happening, 15, 20 minutes
Okay.
as you sort of have that brief meeting and interaction between them.
So, I will teach you, or try to, the message spell. Be able to kind of speak back and forth, sorta, kinda, and the spell components are relatively easy. Spell components? Oh boy. Spell components are things that you need to cast the spell. If you don't have that, doesn't really work as intended, or might have some weird hair losing effects. So, this one only you'll need some wire. I think I have that in my bag. Give me one moment. Don't take anything. And they'll open their bag and kind of rummage around. And they'll pull out a couple pieces of wire and kind of rest them apart. Alright, so I'm going to do an example, and then we'll work on writing it out, trying it out, practicing. Might take a little bit. But, they'll, pull one of the pieces of wire and kind of twist it between their fingers, and then point at Sarah. And then in their head, they hear, so this is how the spell works. This is what potentially you could do. You can also reply back. Once.
Okay.
Do you say that out loud?
With message, they actually cannot reply.
It says that, and here's the message, and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear.
I apologize. Wow, I completely misread that.
Yeah, but that's what we used to do when we didn't have sending.
I'm awake, I promise.
It's okay. You got stuff you're dealing with.
Did you say that out loud?
Yes.
Okay. They'll give you the little bit of wire. So, you're sure that you have no magical inclinations at all?
None whatsoever.
Cool. They'll open one of their spell books. The old one, so it has like some of the first few like spells that's in there.
Okay.
And we'll kind of like flip through the pages to see where some of the notes are about the message spell, which honestly pretty early in all of it. Forgive the chicken scratch, but this is sort of... This is really hard to convey to someone else. I want you to read these notes and see if you can commit them to memory. And see if you can really understand them. They are written in Common, they're not in Gnomish.
Okay, I was about to ask that next.
So, as you're looking in Artemis's spellbook, you can see all around the like borders of the page and the margins, exactly as Artemis is saying, there are notes, different things on it. In the middle of the page, there is a block of text that is complete gibberish to you. As the actual spell itself is written in arcane runes, which you do not understand. But all the notes and everything that Artemis is directing you, though, as Art said, they're all in common, so yeah.
Oh, okay. So, but I'm gonna point to like the arcane rune. But this part isn't in common.
Oh, yeah. I suppose we'll need to do like a separate lesson on that. Huh. I should have thought this out a little bit better. They'll give me that back. They'll take the book. They'll take the book back, and they'll flip to the very back page, and it has kind of like a Rosetta Stone-esque sort of thing, where there's like more notes and things like that. Rough translations of some runes, not all of them, obviously. I'm still working some things out, but they'll pick out a couple that are more prevalent in the message spell and kind of like write them down on one of the pieces of paper and then hand the book back to Sarah and hand them like a little quilt. See if you can recreate these. How about that? We'll work on that.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Okay, so as Sarah has her homework for the evening, the rest of the night passes without issue for the group of you. As you awake in the morning, you can see the owner of the boat who had taken his rest and let the deckhand deal with it for the evening. Looks like they've been up. Fury, you would know he's been up for probably a couple of hours at this point as the rest of the party's starting to get up. The deckhand's laying down, got something covering his face so the light doesn't bother him. He just tries to get a little bit of rest. And the day is yours as you continue along, traveling ever closer to your destination. And as the second day of your journey comes to an open, that's where we'll take our break this evening. So it's just about 9:30. Give people a chance to facilitize if they need to, top off drinks and whatnot. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in a few moments. And yeah, stay tuned to see what happens. 2. Woo.
Hey.
Raise the roof! That's actually a little weird when I put my hands up and I'm actually hitting the roof.
Yeah,
above
you're
my head.
hitting it.
A little claustrophobic and insane at this point. Welcome back, folks.
Oh,
Our party is currently sailing the River Robin, heading up towards Sundabar after leaving Everland. Day 2 of their journey, some of our party is aware that there look to be some storm clouds starting to roll in their direction. They've been advised by the owner of this fine-ish fishing vessel that it should take them about 3.5 to 4 days to arrive at Sundabar, barring any problems or really rough weather. So our party is making their way on day 2, sailing along. Anyone have anything they're looking to... Well, I should say anything. Anyone have anything they're looking to do for the remainder of this journey up towards Sundabar?
Encourage people to learn how to fish.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was one of those
Learn how
people.
to fish
So
for a day. You can learn how to fish for a long time and feed a man. There's some sort of saying I went to...
give a man a fish,
Uh-huh.
eats for a day.
Yes.
Teach a man to fish,
Mm,
eats for a lifetime.
that's totally what I said.
And I am ready to fish. I didn't know what was proper fishing attire, so I went with business casual. I've got a button down and just an ascot instead of a tie. And I've rolled up my sleeves because it's wet.
Are those heels practical?
No, they make me feel good, which is going to be very helpful for when I don't catch a fish.
You might catch a fish.
Then maybe I'll ditch the heels, but until then.
Alright.
Can you imagine walking on heels on a boat?
No. Only on like a big cruise ship, yeah.
I've done it on a cruise ship. It's still terrible.
She only has heeled boots. She doesn't have heels.
Okay.
Heels.
Stiletto heels.
Still.
Yes, that's right, folks. Murdoch in the stripper stiletto heel boots, 6-inch tall.
Yeah.
Murdoch for Bayonetta 5.
She wears fishnets to go fishing. Yeah.
that's how you're supposed to use them, right?
Yeah.
I'll catch lots of fish with these!
Okay.
Stick the leg in the water.
Anyway, yes, I am one of the ones that is supposed to be learning how to fish. So that's probably what I'm doing. Now that I've messed with the guns and given myself free therapy.
Okay, so Lydia is offering fishing lessons. Furia, Emil, Art, Sarah, what would the 4 of you be doing?
I'd take Lydia up on the free fishing lessons.
Okay.
I'll watch the fishing lessons. I'd also like at some point today to detect magic and see if there's any scrying orbs just floating around. Just do a check and...
Sure.
Yeah.
What time of day?
I'd say like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. Art and Sarah?
I'm gonna take a break from arcane runes because my brain hurts, and I'm gonna go try fishing.
Okay. Do me a favor. Go ahead and make a performance check for me.
Oh, Derby 20.
Okay. It's not pretty, but you're like, and I feel bad saying this because I should remember better for my own. You're like kindergarten first level, like writing the alphabet. Like, yeah, you can tell. Like when you're looking at this, You can tell what it's supposed to be. It's not really there yet, but, you know, one of them is like the B and it's backwards. It's the right shape, but it's mirrored, things like that.
Baby's first ruin. I love that. Yeah, we'll work on it. We'll work on it. Yes, go catch fish. That'll be good.
Okay.
I actually wonder if there's anything new in these waters that I haven't seen.
Okay. So eventually, as Lydia has started offering up fishing lessons, and I'm going to say go ahead and roll a d20 for me. Just a straight d20.
Anyone? Me?
Yeah, you, Lydia.
Okay.
You're the one giving the instruction.
14. 14.
Oh, okay. So it's... You hear, and this is all of you who are, whether you're paying attention to Lydia or not, as Lydia's going through the different things and, you know, casting and baiting the hook and everything, every once in a while you hear a little bit of a titter from the deckhand who was supposed to be napping but is now awake and is just sort of laying there listening. Just, you know, following along, nodding along, and then everyone's up. Trying to be quiet, not really 100%.
Sorry, did you want to teach this class? And all these people to fish for the rest of their life?
He looks over at you a little bit, and then looks at the people. I'm good. We'll see if I always visit. But eventually, Lee helps everyone. Lydia, I can't remember. What did you pick up for bait? I know you had purchased bait.
I know we purchased bait. I forget what it was, though. If it was anything in particular.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming probably worms or something. It would have been live bait, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Out of those who are learning to fish, anyone squeamish handling insects or slimy critters, things like that? Okay, Murdoch, go ahead and make a Constitution save for me.
Fair. 20 though.
Okay, yeah, it's not overly pleasant, but you managed to get the job done. And again, you over the next couple of hours, the group of you who are fishing are casting, going back and through. Everyone who's taking the fishing lesson, go ahead and roll a straight d20 for me. And Lydia, as you're fishing too, go ahead and make one as well, because I'm assuming while you're teaching her, you're probably fishing also.
What if you yourself are not straight?
Then roll a curious d20.
Okay. I curiously got a natural 20.
Okay.
Ooh, there you go.
I got tentatively a 10.
Okay.
I got a... Oh, you go.
No, go ahead.
I got a spelt 17.
Okay.
And I got a lowly 11 then, I guess.
Okay. Luckily, though, all of you managed to surpass the DC you needed. And strangely enough, Lydia, as you had watched it first when Murdoch started out and you guys were first sort of baiting the hooks, you could see Murdoch sort of like, this is not really wanting to. Murdoch seems to have taken to this quite well. And Murdoch, you end up at the end of the day's little fishing sojourn, so to speak. And you end up coming in with 7 fish that you've managed to catch.
I'm outdoorsy.
You're a natural. You
A
sure?
savant.
You're pretty
should do
good.
this
Have you
more.
done this before?
No.
And each working your way back down. Lydia, you end up getting about 5.
Okay.
Likewise, Sarah, you managed to pull in 5. Unfortunately, Emil, it's just... you were sitting as you're traveling up. You're sitting just a couple of feet down from where Murdoch is. You only end up pulling in 2 at the end of it, but... You're sure it's because they were coming down this way and they were just... Murdoch was hitting them first.
Murdoch grabbed them all first.
Yeah. Well done, everyone.
I can even
But-
charm the fish.
Oh, wait, is that how you got all of them?
I'll never tell.
You did wonderfully, Emil. You did great, dearie. I'm giving
You
you
did.
little head pats.
You caught fish.
Great. Yeah.
I did. I mean, I've never done this before, but I've read about it a lot.
I've done this many times off the ship and off the, a dock too, but this is the first time I think everyone's caught damn fish. That's very impressive job. I've been days without catching anything.
And Artemis, as you have been focusing and trying to see if there were any sort of... when you say things you hadn't seen, I'm assuming you're referring to fish and, like, aquatic life, or...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh, boy. Okay. A 25.
Wow.
Whoa!
Okay. So as you're sort of staring down into this... So basically you've moved to the other side from where all the fishing is going on. As to, sort of get a little bit of a easier view into the water instead of the constant ripples and everything of them casting and whatnot. As you watch for a little bit of time, you eventually do see something that is sort of strange looking to you. It's, as you're traveling, and again, it's a little difficult because of the wake from the boat, even with the slower speeds you're traveling. You can see what looks to be a rather large... let me rephrase. A rather long, dark shape swimming down somewhere near the bottom of the river. It's a very sort of dark, almost like brownish gray black color. What catches you about that it's being strange is that as you're looking at the body of the fish and it's sort of, comes from the fin, opens up to the body, everything looks normal until you get to the front of its face, where all of a sudden, coming off the tip of the nose, looks to be a long, flat bill sticking out of probably about 6 inches to a foot in front of the fish.
Huh. That is certainly different. Well, I haven't done this in a whole long while. I'm gonna cast water breathing on myself and just gripping the side of the boat. I'm just gonna dunk down and see if I can get kind of a better look at it
Okay.
and just observe it for a little bit.
Alrighty then. I will say, go ahead and make another perception check. This one with advantage, as you are now sort of under the water with it.
Another 25.
Okay. So, apparently you are just honed in on this thing.
Win!
As,
In the water!
as you've got your head down into the water and you're looking at it closer, you realize that your initial estimate of its size was drastically under. As you've got your head in the water looking at it, and it starts to not really swim up at you, but it comes up off the bottom a little bit towards mid-level in the river. You're guessing this is probably about 7 feet long. And then again, this as you're looking at it, it has just this massive flat, looks like a bill on the end of its mouth, at the end of its head. And then as you watch as it starts turning into, and it's just swimming by other smaller fish. Every once in a while you watch as the mouth opens and it seems to be gulping down something, but you're not seeing anything. Given how much you've studied fish from your younger times, spending all the time on the docks of your home, you know that there are species of fish out there that survive on these smaller, little tiny things that live in the water. Mm-hmm. Given what you're watching this, that's your best guess that this thing does.
Wow, that's really cool! Wow, that was really cool. They're gonna like pull out their book and start like drawing it and things like that. Not their spell book. It's a different book. It's a book for weird fish.
Okay. So Artemis has, if my description to those of you at home and our players did not do it justice, Artemis has just found a paddlefish.
Call back to an old character of mine.
Oh, paddle.
Unintentionally, probably.
Completely unintentionally. The DM went, oh crap, I need rare river fish.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was like half platypus, half like. I was picturing a platypus for the longest bit until you said 7 feet.
Forgive me, folks at home. Our camera's going to go a little wonky for a split second. Oh, yeah, it's pretty much that's what you're looking at, folks. Oh, hey, that just... Hold on, I'm actually going to do that again real quick. If you look in Artemis's window and your... Oh, wait, nope, that's the wrong one. Oh, we're just going to... Give me a second. Let me just do that again.
Crikey. Aw.
Hey, there we go. So now in Artemis's thing, there you go. There's what your paddlefish looks like. Now I'm going to bring our players back.
It looks less horrifying than the first one that Sigma found.
I also found what their babies look like.
Oh, dear word. And with that, we're going to move right along as coming near the close of the second day of traveling. You, actually, I'm sorry, Fear, you were doing something midday. You were casting Detect Magic. So, as you cast, keep it up.
I was just going to re-describe. I'm just looking for suspicious scrying orbs and anything other remotely interesting out of the ordinary.
Yeah, so as you cast it, you do not see anything remotely interesting popping up.
Alrighty, that's good to see. At least at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll concentrate on it for the 10 minutes that it's up, and then I'll just let it fade on its own.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it goes through no issues, no concerns. Again, you get the normal pings from your friends, but neither individual on the boat or neither the two townsfolk are lighting up at all. But around as shortly after dinner time, as the light's starting to set, you all hear some whistling coming from the shore. Just briefly, like back and forth a little bit.
Back and forth?
Yep.
Like a bird?
Go ahead,
Like
make
a
nature
call
check.
and receive? Call and return?
That didn't really sound like a bird that I'm familiar with.
And Murdoch, you
Maybe
can say call and return. Like you're hearing one, then a couple seconds later another one. And they do sound to be different tones.
I
Yes,
mean, maybe it could just be hunters. Wait.
I would be ready for an attack.
Do we see where these might be coming from? Or we just hear?
You just hear it. Go ahead and make a perception check if you'd like.
Okay. Oh boy. It's
Nope.
a 4.
I got a 22.
Okay. So,
It's okay, Emil. Granny's got you.
so Sarah, you do manage to get sort of a bearing. You don't really see it, but you've got a pretty good line of where it's coming from, to the point that as you've turned to look, you actually see out of the darkness a little ways back, all of a sudden you see a speck of light as it is rapidly getting larger, coming towards the boat.
Oh, okay.
What do you do?
Duck!
Okay.
Quack?
So you're hitting the deck?
Well, I'm gonna shout duck, and then also hit the
Oh.
deck.
Oh, okay.
I will look in the air because I assume she saw a duck.
But what
Okay.
if it's a goose, as I also fall to the deck?
Art,
I
Murdoch,
grab
and
Lydia's
Emil.
tail.
Do I... Now that it's been, like, called out, do I see anything? Like,
So-
approaching us? Like,
All she has yelled out is duck.
I guess I just duck.
yeah, I guess I would
I'm
just
very
duck
big.
too, as
Okay.
just out of instinct.
Seeing everybody else do that, I guess I'll just like, yeah.
Okay. So, that is funny when the dice tell the story. There's 6 of you, I rolled a d6 to see who this was going at. And it's a person who was looking straight up in the air and did not hit the deck.
We like that. We like that.
Okay. And actually, I don't know if this is actually going to hit. I'm not going to check the,
I don't see a duck.
Aren't you looking for something?
Here a duck. If I was normally on a riverboat and someone said duck, I'd probably be like, ducks!
Okay, oh, no, never mind. That is a 21 to hit.
Ooh, that'll hit me.
Okay. So, as Lydia, as you are looking up, all of a sudden, into the back of your shoulder, you feel a sharp sting
Oh,
as you take 6 points of piercing damage. And then you realize that that sting is burning. You also take 4 points of fire damage. And after a couple of moments in very gruff common, you hear a voice. Shit! I hit one! What do you do?
yeah, you did, and I'm gonna cast a spell at you. Stop.
It's a good warning.
So are you casting something or just threatening?
I'll threaten for now. I
Okay.
guess. I don't know. They hit me with a. No, I'm gonna cast something on them because they hit me with a stupid arrow. Frankie. So, do I see where they're at?
You do not.
That means I can use guiding bolt still.
You have a general idea that they're behind you as it hit you in the back as you were like,
Alright. Calls for an AoE spell and hit them both. I'm not nice. Cleric. Oh, I'm going to cast a.
The rest of you also notice that the two guys working the ship have hit the deck when Sarah yelled duck as well.
Yeah, well, okay, so I'm gonna cast a, shatter around there.
Okay.
Try to at least. Yes, I don't know if I'll get them, but yeah.
I will say go ahead and make a basically make a spell attack.
Okay.
I'm just gonna see how well you are at gauging.
I rolled a nat 20.
Okay, so you are actually gonna hit right in the middle of both of them, and that's a saving throw for them, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so given how well you aim this based off of getting shot in the back and hearing them, I'm actually going to give the two of them disadvantage on this, as it is smack dab next to them.
Cons.
Okay, so that first one is definitely going to fail. Oh, this is Dex save, right?
Con.
Oh, con. Okay, what's your spell save DC?
17.
Okay, nope, they still fail. He only has 16. Okay. And he's 15, so they both end up failing, so go ahead and roll your damage.
It's 14.
I'm sorry, what is it?
14.
Okay. I gotta check something here. Okay. As you cast your spell, you watch as a body of a rather large orc gets knocked basically from. You hear the impact of your spell, and you watch as his body topples up this small little bit of a hill and just lands motionless.
Oh no, they killed it.
And then you hear in common, "Ah! Magic user, run!"
You better run! Ow! You better run.
Okay.
Says the bunny. I forget that one.
And then you just continue to hear footsteps. It sounds like there's quite a few people taking off from that area over there.
I'm gonna look down and say, what the hell are you guys doing?
Yeah, given that.
We're not getting hit by arrows. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, but there's lots of guys out there.
I'm going to slide, like myself, up against the side of the boat, and I'm going to cast Acid Splash, and I'm also going to use a distance spell to double the distance to 120 feet. That's one sorcery point, and they just have to be within range. I don't have to see them.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
it doesn't sound like they're gonna fire more. They sound like you scared them off pretty good, Lydia.
As you said, and is that a saving throw for them, or is that an attack roll for
Yes, that is a Dex saving throw.
you? Okay. As you say that, you hear your new little friend in the background muttering something, and then okay, so that's acid splash or acid spray?
Acid Splash.
Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, so they are close enough that it would potentially get both of them.
Okay.
So that's dexterity save. Okay, this is going to be a straight roll on them because they are basically sprinting as they were expecting one, not to actually hit somebody. They were expecting to intimidate and then get some free grub or trade stuff. But two, they are now running because they are aware that there is a at least one magic user there. And they are both going to fail though, so go ahead and roll your damage.
Alright, that's 2d6. 6 and 10. So that's 10 acid damage.
Okay. So you hear in the distance a little ways 2 screams.
I guess I'll kind of like peek my head up over the edge and like see if I can spot them now or what.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. Ugh, it's a 7.
No, you still can't see anything. They seem to be running as the you do that is the owner of the ship sits up and sits up a little bit, looks around, and looks over at you, Artemis. Well, I guess you really weren't kidding this small one.
Yeah, we're pretty cool.
And then he looks up at you, Lydia. Up. Your back's on fire.
I'll help with that. If
Thank
I'm
you, Art.
just pat 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 pat. Smells like burning fur.
Yes. Hey.
Not the most pleasant scent for most of you. Lydia, you were furry before, so you're probably used to it.
Actually, yeah. It gets worse.
It seems the rest of the evening goes by without issue. And if no one has anything else they're looking at doing, actually the rest of your journey, the third day goes through without an issue. Getting near the end of the third day, I'm going to advise you that you guys will probably be getting in hour or two before midday on the fourth day to arrive. Weather seems to be holding out for those of you who had noticed it. Storm clouds are getting closer, but Fury and Lydia, by your best estimates, it won't hit this area until at least another day goes by. Is anything anyone else would be doing during this last little bit of travel?
I'm gonna try my alphabet again.
Okay, go ahead and make a performance check.
Twelve.
It's little improvements. Still shaky, but you're getting there. You remember hearing tales about people who study magic and it takes years for them to learn it. It's a lot of book learning.
Also, just a logistics question. Am I able to learn more cantrips, or am I just limited to...
So, for all purposes, you are limited in the number that you can learn. Certain levels you will gain. It'll say in the player's handbook under wizard. I think there's one or potentially two other levels where you'll gain an additional cantrip. Mm-hmm. There are also feats that you can take that will give you the ability to gain additional cantrips.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, but realistically, once you pick them, you're pretty much stuck with them.
Yeah, no, I had dark vision, so I didn't get light.
It's no reason for you to worry about it if you got dark vision.
Damn, dark visioners.
See everything in shades of gray in the darkness. But eventually, as the group of you are traveling, your little friend here is basically advise you as he sort of starts guiding the ferry over towards a series of docks. And the first thing that you notice is that there is no city right here on the river itself. As you're pulling up and you sort of dimming his deckhand or getting everything moored and push up, you initially, from the way he explained it, were expecting to just sort of pull right into the city on the boat, get off and be there. Emil, you not being present for that wouldn't have been able to warn them that this is in fact basically it's a little bit of a hike from the river to get up to the city itself.
Yeah, okay.
But as the captain gestures and points, you can see that there is a road leading up from these docks and the couple of borderline shanties that are around here. You can see this path leads upwards towards this massive walled city, resting basically on a small cliff, probably about a 2 to 3 hour walk from where you are. As you can see it leading up in this massive well, as Emil would know, this originally dwarven crafted city. But the gentleman basically shores up the boat, looks over at Lydia. Okay, Mom, if you just need the remainder of the coin for our agreed price, and...
Sure. I will pay him.
Thank you much, and we'll be heading on our way back if it's all the same to you. But wish you a good journey wherever it may take you to, and thank you for the easy payday. And looks over at August, and thank you for scaring them orcs off. Hopefully we don't have any trouble on our way back home.
Yes.
One more thing. Say we needed your services again. I would double the amount if I messaged you. Or sent you a message. Just so you know. In case we need a quick...
Go ahead and make a
drop
persuasion
to the river.
check.
Okay. I got a 3E.
He got a 1.
Oh my god!
So he looks at you and goes, double the amount? I suppose that's a fair ask.
Alright. Sounds good.
He gives a little nod and watches the group of you start to head up towards the city as a couple of the people sort of come out of the little shanties and shacks around here, and they seem to come up and be doing like trying to barter, see what he's got, if he has anything, whatnot. Yeah, eventually you guys start heading up towards the city. Takes...
Neil, have you lived here your entire life?
Yeah. Yes.
Ooh.
So yeah, and Emil, you would be aware, again, it was originally built as part of as a dwarven citadel that guarded an underground sort of, a more underground establishment for them. But in years gone by, it has become primarily a human city. Humans make up more than half of the population, with dwarves coming in a close second at about a third of the population. And then other, we'll call them like gnomes, halflings, half-elves, things of that nature, filling up the remaining bits, with a very few... Like, it's extremely rare to run into like a dragonborn or a tiefling in this city. Yeah, eventually as you guys are making your way up, you can see the getting closer to the walls. And as you start getting closer, you can see all along the top, the ramparts and the walls, there are heavily armored individuals walking the battlements, standing at the main gate that you're heading up to. There are individuals, massive, like kite shield style shields. As you look closer at them, for those other than Emil, they almost have the appearance of stone, the way these shields are fashioned. Also, you notice that there is a group of mounted individuals, 6 deep, just riding out in sort of in the plains off to off to the west of where you're walking up the road. And eventually the group of you get to the gate. And as you get up, there are 2 individuals standing outside the gate. Within the gate, there are 4 more individuals, 2 on each side. And then within the city, there are another 2. So there are a total of 8 individuals standing from this, you would assume to be the city guard, standing at this entranceway. As they see you approach, and one looks at you. Oh. Good midday to you. What brings you to Sunderbar today?
Go ahead, Emil.
Good day. My name is Emil Weiss, of the Weiss Manor inside, and these are my friends. We were just looking. I was just looking to return home.
You're Lord and Lady Weiss's boy.
Yes, Emil. That's me.
Dreadful sorry what happened when we heard what happened to you and your sister.
Yes, I mean, have you heard anything of my sister? Do you know where she is?
No, we're just thankful to see you again. I mean, we were told that 2 of you were slain.
We were taken, not slain. I mean, at least we were. I don't know if my sister's still alive now or not, but I mean, are my parents in? Are they unharmed?
Well, I would assume so. I mean, it's not as if Lord Weiss would see someone as lowly as me, but I mean, I last saw Lady Weiss in the marketplace not 4 or 5 days ago.
All right. That sounds promising. Then, I mean, can we?
But of course. Do you need escort home?
No, I think once we're within the city walls, I think we'll be fine.
And he sort of reaches out and very tentatively sort of reaches out and pauses for a second and gently taps your shoulder. Well, just remember, Master Weiss, that the good Lord Tyr is with you, and should he be merciful, we'll hear news on your sister soon.
Yes, indeed.
He gives a little nod and gestures to the group of you to go ahead.
Come on, and I'll start to proceed through and lead the way.
Okay.
You're famous?
I mean, I guess, I don't know if famous is the right word, but
You're
More
certainly
like well known.
yeah, my father's business is well known in the city, and I mean, frankly, he cares more about that than he does the rest of the family, but
I'm sure he'll be glad to know you're home safe and sound.
yes.
Exactly.
So, I mean, as you sort of lead everyone in through the river gate and heading into the city. Real quick, Maddie, I know we talked about this briefly. Did you have a specific area within the city that your family lived?
Not specific within the city. No, I didn't
So
flesh it out that much.
no worries. So, your family actually lives a little ways south of the Master's Hall. So as you're heading into the city, the river gate's on the western side. As you're heading along the main drag, basically heading towards the Master's Hall, you go to a point where you start steering everyone a little bit south. And about 15-20 minutes later, you come to a rather large establishment that obviously, Amelia, you recognize as your home. For those of you, Murdoch, this is something you would expect to see in the Noble Quarter in Waterdeep. This minus the walled-in, like the walled-in aspect that a lot of noble houses in Waterdeep have. This is just a massive home. Looks to be about 3 stories high, easily 4,000 or 5,000 square feet. This is just it. When he said manor, he is literally. Daddy is loaded.
My man.
Based
How old was your father?
Ransom?
He's in
Ransom
his,
on you?
what,
Like,
late
bring it back.
60s by now, mid 60s. Yeah.
Yes, slap Murdoch's arm. Murdoch! Married! Do you want to be the other woman?
I didn't say anything. I just asked a question.
Based off of my backstory, is this bigger or smaller than what I'm used to?
This is probably about the same.
Oh. Quite quaint, very modest.
He would just kind of look.
Now I
at you,
slap
but
you.
He wouldn't really say anything to that. He was- Yeah, this is it. It's home.
This is it. This is a lot. Wow.
A lot
Ooh.
of it.
Yeah, I guess I just used to it. I guess.
Oh,
I mean, it looks nice, but I mean, I don't know. It's kind of cold sometimes too. But
I bet you have fireplaces.
I mean, not like literally cold, but like
Oh,
empty kind of cold. But yeah.
you need a hug?
No, I think I'm all right.
Alright.
Is there someone who's going to be by to, like, we're just not going to walk in as a group of strangers with a son of a prominent business.
Yeah,
I-
that
I-
sounds...
Perhaps Murdoch and I should go first.
Why doesn't Emil just go first and we...
Yeah, I mean, I
Stand
can
behind
I can go in.
I meant with him.
Oh,
I mean, if you want, you can. As long we won't have any trouble getting in if that's what you think. But
I just don't want them to take us for, I don't know, ruffians who are coming by and being like, hey, here's your son back or something. Like, I know,
that's kind of
Murdoch,
what we
you are
did.
dressed well.
That's why
No,
I said
The
Murdoch
thought that
and
I would
should go
ever
first.
be mistaken as a ruffian.
I'm going
No,
to stay
as long as
outside a
they-
little bit. That's all I'm
as
saying.
long as they.
I'm
they
gonna
see
go up
me-
and like knock on the door of the gate while everybody's talking. Because I'm tired of this. Let's get going here.
So as the rest of you are having this debate, Furia disappears, and all of a sudden you hear the... And a few moments goes by, and a small gnome pops her head around.
Good afternoon. I'm part of a group that has managed to come by the son of the estate. She's over there talking to the rest of my party.
As you say that, immediately turns and bolts towards the house.
See, you scared them.
Oh.
Maybe.
I'm like, all right, let's go, and I'll start like running towards the door too.
Are we all running to... I'm not running towards the door.
I'm following Amir.
Emil.
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 Sarah just ran off and chasing some random guy on the street, you know.
Yeah.
Albert who? I found him here. And so, Emil, as you start charging up, you can hear this individual who you don't recognize.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
But
ask that.
at the same point, your parents have always hired all manner of people to take care of the land,
Yeah.
the yard and whatnot. So
Yeah. So I guess I'll I'll wait for a second, just since I didn't recognize that individual.
A few moments goes by, and eventually someone does come to the door that you do recognize. As he looks out, very older gentleman, completely bald, slight sag in the jowl. I mean, just a very elderly gentleman. So, is it really you, young Master Emile? And you would recognize your family's butler.
And what is his name, so I can...
Where did I put my notes on Emile? So I gotta pull up my different things here. Oh, I didn't have him up already. That would have been intelligent.
Name him Alfred.
Sarah wins. His name is Alfred.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'll... Alfred! Yes, it's me! And I'll like burst through the door and run in and hug him.
As you come in, he crouches down and gives you a... we were told you were dead.
No, we were taken, me and Hollowa. Is she... Did you hear anything about her? I mean, are mom and dad okay?
No, he steps back and looks at you. And then sort of squints at you and sort of grabs your face and like pulls on your cheeks a little bit. It is actually you, yes?
Yes, it's really me. I got out. It was it was terrible, but I got away.
I don't understand. You're buried in the yard.
What?
They found your body. They had funeral services.
No, it's me. I don't... Is there like some kind of object like nearby that we're, where we're standing? Like that's a non-living object? Like a table or something?
Yeah. A small, almost like a mail table that most people have, just like a small end table within the doorway.
Yeah, so he'll turn to the others and say, like, don't look at me. Don't look at my eyes. And he will, to prove it's really him, we'll see him drop his blindfold and he'll look at this table and you see it turn to stone. And then he'll bandage his eyes back up.
And you watch and all you notice is he said that even the butler turns and just covers and looks down away for a moment.
See, it's me. It's really me.
Then who was? But it was you. We found your body. You had been killed in your room.
No, I don't know how that could possibly be, but it must have been magic because it's not true.
And he just sort of plops back in his. He had crouched down. And he's now just flat, sitting on the ground, just looking at you. Just. Please, all of you. Gets himself back up. Please come, have a seat in the waiting room. I must go find the Lady Vice. This may take a few. It's going to be quite the shock being told that the child you buried has apparently come back from the dead.
By all means.
And he basically leads to you. It's as you walk in just to the right, there's a small sitting room. And Murdoch immediately, you having spent time in Waterdeep, knowing some of the craftspeople there, the craftsmanship of the furniture in their waiting room puts Waterdeep to shame.
It's
Wow.
immaculate. They're so freaking rich.
Emil, this is somewhat odd for you, as your parents never let you and your sister play in this room. This is like the
Parlor.
this is the living room for when important guests come over.
Right. Okay.
So you're all sort of let in and sat down in these immaculately I mean, it's beautiful
Nice.
cushions, beautifully carved armrests, everything dark, expensive woods.
Does anyone think this might be a Stone Murdoch situation?
No.
I feel more like they could have just illusioned the.
I'm sure there's magics that we don't know about yet that can.
Right? Just throwing that out there.
Well, depending on how closely they looked at said body, it could just be some random other kid.
Or how
Well,
much of the
there's a-
body was left.
I mean, there could be like a polymorph, but for people.
Alright.
You know.
I'll play though.
I mean, we could check the library and see if the books we have. I don't know. Maybe they could shed some light on it.
You have a library as well?
Yes. Yeah, we do.
Oh. It would be very much
It has been a
interesting.
while since we've been in a library. I don't know if. I think the last time we were in one officially, it wasn't that great.
I visit one.
Well,
What are you
There's,
talking
uh,
about? Candlekeep was grand.
Kind of.
No, I'm pretty sure there was a library after Candlekeep that went a little bit south.
well, Father takes great pride in how extensive his library is. So
But I think we should wait to figure out what's going on until
yes, yeah.
you meet your
definitely.
parents again.
Yeah.
Yes.
One thing before the other.
Also, I can't help but notice that one of the tables in this room is now entirely stone.
Ah, yes. So that explains why I wear this blindfold. Anything I look at turns to stone, and I can't help it. I can't stop it. So
Right then.
yeah.
Interesting. Forgive me if I'm prying, but has this always been?
It not from birth, but when I was young, it started to manifest, and yeah, now it's just this is the only thing I've found that can stop it.
And
Do you have a magic blindfold?
No, it's just as long as, my eyes aren't looking on something directly. It's just a regular blindfold, but
so you can see, we just can't see your eyes, and that's the whole.
yes, exactly.
Ah!
Just because I obviously don't want to turn any of you to stone.
Thank you.
Thank you, yes. Ash is going to kind of take in. Art's going to spend a little bit just staring at that stone table, and
Okay.
then kind of take in the rest of the room.
Had you not seen it happen, like seen it was wood in a moment and then a stone when you looked back up, you would assume that they had very gifted stonemason carve it. It
What?
seems to literally just the composition of it has changed. Nothing else.
Is it any particular kind of stone?
Go ahead and make a nature check.
All right. That is a 6.
It's a rock stone.
It sure is a rock. Cool.
Hey, at least it's not kidney stone.
It'll be a hard one to pass.
About that time, you hear a woman scream from somewhere within the building. Emil, you would recognize your mother's voice.
Yeah, so I take it she just received the news that I'm here.
I mean, you could assume that.
I, at this point, he would just take off running
Okay.
and just go to where he heard his mother's voice from.
Oh, we just let it. I suppose.
I'm running after him.
No, maybe.
We need to stay here.
Yeah, I think we should stay here.
Can we
He
really
knows
just
his
leave
house.
him alone?
He's not going to be alone, and he's in his own house in a very
He's in
well
his own
fortified
house.
city.
Although they took him from his own house, right?
That is a,
Exactly.
That's another problem altogether. Sit back down.
You could hang out by the door.
I think that we should all be talking about the fact that there was apparently a fake body.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying, the doppelganger thing, like, yeah.
Which means that somebody wants them to think he's dead. So now that he is saying he is not dead, we should be worried, possibly.
I
And
wonder if they did the
perhaps
same thing for his sister.
That's...
And I'm wondering if they did the same thing for the other people that they took.
Ooh.
I'm assuming it could be part of their modus operandi.
Yes.
That they do that so that no one comes looking for the kidnappees.
Wow.
Well, the other man said that they didn't really have a pattern. It was very random. And if it was that random that nobody's caught onto it yet, why would they need to cover it up so well? Why not just a young boy gets lost in the forest and disappears?
Well, maybe they only did it for them because they're extremely wealthy.
Maybe, they're
Maybe,
instrument.
but
That would eliminate any well put together eyes looking around. Body would stop that sort of thing.
wealthy doesn't always mean smart, though.
No, but
Most times, sure, but not
means
always.
persistence.
Hmm.
If it was their child, which I'm assuming
Well-
at least one of them cares about, the dad seems a little iffy.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. You know. I mean, the town seems to be thankful, but
So suspicions are raised amongst everybody.
Yeah.
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 the other
Okay.
question is why? And who are they planning to give the power to?
I don't know. This stinks from top to bottom. I don't like.
About that time, Emil, you actually find yourself outside your parents' master suite.
Is the door
Door is
Closed?
closed.
I will try to open it.
Okay, does not appear to be locked.
Yeah, so I will, in that case, open it and run in.
As you open it and charge in, you can see Alfred is currently rubbing his face. It appears as he has been struck.
Oh. And I see it's my mother that.
Your
Seems to have
mother is
slapped him.
standing there. And you can see her rubbing her hands. And as the door opens, she turns and looks at you. And you can see her wobble a little bit. But she manages to steel herself and is just staring. It's very difficult to read expression at the moment.
Yeah, it's just... Mother! And I run up to her and hug her.
As you remember, she tenses for a moment. And is it really you?
Yes. You can ask Alfred. He told me all about what happened. I don't... It's me. It's really me. I made it out. Have you seen Halawa? Did you...
Not
We
since
tried to escape together, and... They got her, and I had to run. I couldn't do anything else, but...
But we buried you. How did you escape?
I don't know
You got out
what...
of the crypt.
Yes, I don't... Well, no, not... I wasn't buried. I don't know what magic that was. I don't know what you buried, but it's me. I'm here.
And just sort of oozing a little bit and starts to lean back, and she actually pushes you off a little bit and goes and sits on the edge of her bed.
Mm-hmm.
Just she looks and
Okay. I'll prove it, and I'll do the same. I did with Alfred.
He already stated that. I'm just.
Okay, then it's me.
She looks over at Alfred and gives a little jerk of her head, and he walks over and knocks on. Basically, as you walk into the main sleeping area, there are 2 doors leading off on either side. He walks over on one, knocks on it. You would recognize this is your father's office. He knocks and no response. He tries again after a couple of moments, and the door very quickly pulls open. What is it? You know the lords are on their way.
Father, you're okay.
He looks down. He glances at you and then looks back over at Alfred. I suppose I won't have to relieve you. You weren't lying. Welcome home. You're alive, I take it?
We're kidnapped, and I escape and make it back, and that's all you have to say?
Well, you were dead and we buried you, so apparently you're alive again. Welcome home.
Yes, I'm not dead. I was not buried. Maybe if you would focus on something other than your business deals, you would have noticed that.
We had your body, and if it weren't for our business deals, you wouldn't have this home to live in. Now that you're alive again.
I am this home.
Is your sister going to come back from the dead as well?
She's not... Well, she wasn't dead when we tried to escape. I don't know if she's alive or not at this point. I would think her father would be concerned about that.
He looks at you for a couple of seconds without saying anything, then looks over at your mother. And then back at you. If you had any idea what we had to deal with when the reports came in, the 2 of you were murdered in your own rooms.
What you had to deal with? We were abducted. We were basically experimented on.
That's everything with you. It's always you. He turns back in the office, slams the door shut. See,
So I guess...
your mother sort of
he
reaches out and grabs your shoulder a little bit. He's under a lot of stress right now, honey.
Yeah, I guess some things never change, huh?
It's... it- all of the... There are all these rumors going around with things changing. And, your father's position in the Master's Hall is... Certainly you'll remember how many people have tried to find ways to push him out and increase their own standings.
Yeah, I guess.
This is just one more fire he feels the need to put out.
Well, it's at any rate, it's so good to see you again, and I'll hug her again.
You said you were taken, though, but... Give us, it's... We buried you and your sister.
I don't know what else to say other than that's some kind of trickery by this group. What do they call themselves? The collusion of the Viscounts? Is that...
That's a rather ostentatious name, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, there were others there besides the two of us. I mean, I didn't really gather that much other than they're basically take away magic from people like us, the people who are born with it.
To what end? Why? It's...
To
I'm sorry,
give
Alfred
it
said you
to
had people with you.
Who... What?
Alfred said you had people with you. Are they the ones...
Oh, yeah, they're
Did they-
they're still waiting by the front door. I heard your voice and I just came running.
Of course, I mean... Alfred, I'm sorry, my friend. It is still rubbing his cheek a little bit. It is fine. It is understandable given what I told you. And she looks at you, well, perhaps let us, well, please go return to your friends. Allow me to make myself presentable, and I shall be down shortly.
Okay. And he'll hug her one more time and then proceed back to the front door.
She sort of grabs the top of your head a little bit as you're hugging her and lets you go. Alfred walks back downstairs. And as you get down and head back towards that room, he just, again, gives you a slight pat and just, I'll stop by the lot and get some beverages for your guests.
Great. Thank you, Alfred.
He gives a little nod, and as you head back over, he disappears around the corner. A couple minutes later, you find yourself back with the others.
How'd it go?
It was great to see my mother again, and yeah, they buried us. I still have to wrap my head around that, but of course my father couldn't be bothered. But
Couldn't be bothered.
His
It's-
child came back from the dead.
Yes, and I agree with you that I really struggle to understand the man sometimes, but yes, so my mother's coming down shortly, and just to meet you all, Alfred is going to bring some refreshments for us, and
Do you want me to cast a spell on those bodies in the coffins just to see what's that about? I understand if you don't want to,
Have to
but
take those up. I don't think that's going to be pleasant.
I mean,
I know, but I don't.
But also, I don't think it's going to help us in the long run.
Tell us who they are.
yeah, I mean,
I
guess-
still don't think that's going to help us.
Well, and tell us if they were a meal or not.
Well, no, I'm.
Still not going to help us.
I'm.
What?
Emil.
The two of you. Why don't we focus on celebrating Emil's life and not investigating his death at this current time?
Congratulations, Emil. Huzzah!
There we go.
Yeah. For being home. Again.
I'm happy your
About that
mother
time.
is happy to see you.
Yes, she's wonderful. It's very good
Alfred
to
comes
see her.
back. Beautiful, beautiful crystal glasses. A silver carafe as he's walking in with this tray. And sets the tray down on the table, hands each one of you a glass. Picks up the carafe, pours each of you a glass. It is a deep, deep burgundy red colored liquid. Pours one for each one of you. There's still one glass remaining.
Yes.
A few minutes goes by as he pours that in. The lady will be with you forthwith.
Of course. Thank you very much.
And gives a little nod, and again, you watch. Those of you who are paying attention watch as he sees him on. You can see just a sort of a genuine, warm smile on his face. He seems to be glad to see him. A few minutes goes by, and you can hear heavy footfalls. Emil, you would recognize as your father's pace. As Alfred is sort of taken a step back and is now standing sort of in that entranceway, not in the same room as you, but near enough should you need anything you could just call. Here's the father comes down, sort of glances towards that room and sees everything going on. Then towards the door and sees the table. Alfred, make sure that room is thoroughly cleaned and get that table out of here before I return with the lords. Walks out, doesn't even, beyond that, doesn't acknowledge the rest of you, just right out the door.
Pleasant.
And you hear Alfred,
Hello.
Yeah.
that table is going to be heavy.
I can't help.
Sorry, I just. It was a bit of a dramatic moment.
I can try to help you.
I mean, Blizzard, if you're certain you're rather lithe little thing,
I know. I know.
go ahead and make a strength check.
Okay. That's a 4.
Yeah,
He just
look
sounds
at Alfred.
constipated.
Yep. Yep.
He just
Even
sort of
heavier than I thought. I'm used to being taller. No.
She's still getting used to her legs.
Yeah.
just sort of says, don't worry, I'll get one of the landscaping people to deal with it.
Alright.
He goes out and you hear him running, and all of a sudden 3 gnomes come running in, and the 3 of them take it out, and
Aw, that's great.
a little more time goes by, and eventually a very elegantly dressed woman finally gets to the entranceway to the door, and you can see just beautiful, elegant, like floor-length gown. Hair's pulled back into a long braid tied, comes down towards the front. As all of you are looking at her, you can see that the ties running throughout the hair seem to be made out of gold and platinum. It's just sparkling, every little bit of light fluttering. rings on multiple fingers, and you recognize diamonds, all manner of gemstones. I mean, Emil, your mother went basically Thursday at the market level elegance here.
Oh, goodness.
You've seen her do more, but this is, if the Lady Vice is going out around town, this is what she's wearing.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I tried romancing the mother.
she looks at the interview. So, you are the ones who brought Emil home to us.
Yeah, they helped save my life. And I'll kind of like, I guess I'll like gesture to all of you if you want to introduce yourselves.
My name is Art. Your son has wonderful magic aptitude. It was wonderful to see what he can do.
She gives a little bit of a smile and a very gentle sort of nod to you.
My name is Murdoch. I'm an attorney. You have a lovely home. It is, dare I say, nicer than even the houses of the nobility down in Waterdeep.
Again, very... Thank you. I'm certain my husband would be thrilled to hear that.
My name's Lydia. Brycelyn. I was sailor, and I used to be taller. Nice to meet you.
The brow furrows a little bit at the last part, but gives a little bit of a nod.
I'm Furia. I'm an elf, if you haven't already noticed, and I tend to do knowledge about plants and animals and things like that.
As you said, you give, tries not to, but gives a half a glance over at Lydia for a second, and then sort of catches
Not
herself
those
and gives
kind
a
of
little nod. Then she looks over at the diminutive elderly person in the party.
There does a curtsy and a Sarah Lotte. Lovely home.
There's a little bit of a nod.
Lovely boy too. And she like pats Emil.
He just kind
On
of
the arm.
like blushes and puts his head down.
Saying that, you actually are the only one to see sort of a genuine smile play across her lips for a split second before that training kicks back in and the very polite little nod again. I am the Lady Dahlia Weiss. She gives a little bit of a curtsy. As you have returned my son home, you're welcome. I would like to invite you to remain for this evening's repast with us.
We'd be delighted.
Honored.
Wonderful.
Humbly accept.
It is unfortunate my husband has a meeting at the Master's Hall. He will probably not be able to join us. But I am certain he appreciates your effort in returning our beloved Emil to us.
Kind of shakes his head at that. But...
Your mother catches that and you get a very sort of...
Did Father say what time he would be returning tonight?
Oh dear, you know he does not discuss business with me.
Mm. And then at that, I'll turn to Art. Say, Art, I could show you the library at some point this evening, if you want. It seemed like you were pretty interested, so.
That would very much be interesting to me. I promise not to get into anything, of course.
And
all right.
as you say that, Emil, your Mother leans over a little closer. Now, dear, you know how particular your father is with his books.
Yes, yes. But when was the last time he even read one of them? It's all just about status to him.
We should not be airing family issues in front of your guests.
All right, all right.
If it does help your opinion, we did spend quite a bit of time down at Candlekeep perusing the books there. So we're not unused to libraries, even though we wear swords and items of war.
If you all gained access to Candlekeep, you must have had some interesting tomes to offer them.
Homes and experience.
Yes, they've made numerous requests of my husband for some of the more unique in his collection, but...
As you could imagine, he is not very willing to part with any of them.
Not without fair recompense. The pass to the library is not worth anything to him. So,
Well,
evening meal will be served promptly at dusk. So, Emilia, perhaps we should do so on the rear patio outside.
Sure, yeah, it's a nice night tonight. That sounds appropriate.
Alfred, please contact the chef. Tell them they have quite the task ahead of them. Oh, and she reaches over and picks up the empty glass and looks at Alfred, and he's, oh, sorry, Mom, sorry. And then comes over and pours her a glass. And to Amelia's return, and starts sipping it. For those of you who are partakers of wine, it is absolutely exquisite.
Of course it is. Oh my god.
Helped by the tears of joy of Murdoch.
Sarah's gonna like swirl the glass and like lean over the Furia. This wine's probably older than you, dearie.
Well, probably. I'm not really that old. It's older than you.
Go ahead and
With
make
a
a history
grin.
check, Sarah.
Murdoch,
Oh, what-
I'm going to
a what
need
check?
dress.
History.
History? Oh,
Yep.
What did you say to me?
I'm gonna need a dress. Or something fancy.
I have dresses, but they're not your size, dear.
14.
Oh my god, shop.
You can recall that you've, in your, we'll call it your younger years, you have had a number of very nice wines. You are having difficulty remembering a time where you have tasted one quite as exquisite as this.
Oh my god.
You're guessing this is easily probably a couple of thousand gold a bottle.
Oh my god! It's so good here. Oh my gosh. If I could just represent him in one legal case, I could help the entirety of Baldur's Gate. Which is what I care about. The down and
Yes.
destitute people in Baldur's Gate.
I lean over to Murdoch. And then have some left over for yourself.
To pay my employee, who really deserves to be paid more, to be entirely honest with you. Spartacus is one of the best assistants ever. He does so well.
Murdoch, I appreciate your what's the word?
I don't know.
Candor?
Philanthropy?
Bashfulness?
Generosity.
There we go.
I appreciate your generosity, but just enjoy the wine.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying thinking about what it represents. So rich.
About this time, Lady Vice gives a little nod to everyone. Should be about time for... I'll need to start preparing myself for this evening's festivities then. She looks over. Alfred, be a dear, get Emil some of his spending coin. Make sure he's got enough to and she gestures to the remainder of the group. And to help his friends as well. Alfred nods and goes and takes off. And your mother walks over to your meal and again reaches down and gives you a hug and very lightly kisses the top of your head.
Well,
And soon I will see you shortly.
Okay.
She gives a little nod and starts my man. Just a few moments for Alfred. It's been quite an exciting day for him. Then takes off and starts walking back up. A little bit of time goes by and eventually Alfred comes back carrying a chest and sets it down in front of you, Emil. Your mother was not specific on the amount, so I decided to make sure that you have enough to take care of getting yourself a proper outfit as we stated where you were buried. Most of your wardrobe was donated to those less fortunate. And then he
All right.
sets the chest, hands you the key, and gives a little nod. He goes, stands out again back in that sort of entryway, leaving the group of you alone in the sitting room.
A rear patio?
wrap around porch.
Multiple patios.
Yes. I guess it's pretty embarrassing to say all this stuff out loud. But yes.
Embarrassing, no. I
I mean, like embarrassment of riches kind of thing, not like.
Don't let them fool you too much, dear. We have a veritable pile of gold. They just don't normally spend it on living frivolously.
Well, when you're traveling around all the time, it's more apt to wear something like what I am than a dress and do your hair up.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not good for survivability.
I just think that all of you,
added something to my hair.
I think that all of you should maybe consider investing it in a permanent home at some point.
Oh,
You know, when you
yeah.
don't need
Yeah.
healing potions and rare inks.
Oh, I have
Where
that
am I gonna
already.
live?
And a forest is fine for me. It's larger than a mansion and it's always outdoors. All the world is a patio when you live in a forest.
All the world is the world, and the world is covered in dirt. A patio is not dirt.
No, but when you sleep in a tree, it's definitely not dirt.
No,
Sarah,
it's
where are you
wood
gonna live?
and dirt.
Huh?
There was a patio.
Sarah, where are you gonna live?
In my home.
Can I live close by?
You can live in the home.
Okay.
I pat Lydia's arm. I told you, you can come with me.
You meant it though. Okay.
I did.
Okay, so let's play it, folks.
Well,
I mean, I guess mother insisted we find proper attire for the meal, so off to
So,
A tailor.
Taylor.
Sarah already has a measuring tape out.
as you're thinking, the first name that pops into your head is Flinders Fancies, one of the finest clothiers within the city.
Everything sounds so fancy.
Are they going to have time to make us garments for this evening? Like, it's not that far away.
Oh dearie, they just tuck in a couple of things, sew a couple of things, darn dart. It's really just that
Yeah, I'm usually
you're underestimating tailors.
usually not the one actually going to the tailor to grab the materials, but it seems like they can do that. I don't know.
As you say that,
Well, if they can, by all means, but it's rather short notice.
Alfred sort of steps in. Young master, it seems you have really found some interesting friends to travel with. As if you're going to the clothiers, they have a full staff on hand. If you leave now, they should be able to get everything prepared for you for this evening. And hopefully the coin provided in said chest will be enough for you. If not, I'm hopeful your friends wouldn't mind putting in a little of their own if they have to. But there should be more than enough.
And I'm sure we could always use Father's credit if necessary. So
Again, young master, please remember, up until about half an hour ago, you were dead. Most places may not allow you to utilize your father's credit until that issue is resolved.
all right, yeah, okay. I guess.
Yeah,
we'll,
that might get flagged.
I guess that's
Thus the reason for the chest of coin.
okay.
We shouldn't waste any time, and I'm happily going to take Furia's arm because I need to see Furia in a dress.
Didn't we have Furia dress?
I need to see Furia in
A
a
proper
specifically tailored dress.
And
She's my gal pal. You're also my gal pal. Let's go!
yay, shopping!
So as the group of you start to head out, that's where we're calling into tonight's session. As the party starts heading to Flinders Fancies, with Emil carrying a chest full of an undisclosed amount of coin as he did not open to look at it.
It's so much money.
It is
Platinum.
requires a chest.
And yeah, so we'll be back, folks, next week for another wonderful information, another wonderful session here. I apologize. Apparently, we had a raid pop in that I missed because we were so involved with Ryoshi Yajiri. Raidoshi. So I apologize I missed you guys if you're still around, but we are just checking out for this evening. We'll be back as our party is now heading back after bringing their apparently very affluent young friend Emil home to see his parents, only to find out he's dead and buried. Or someone is. So we'll be back next week, and don't forget, folks, when somebody hands you a chest full of coin and just says, hey, go get some clothes, don't question it when they're as wealthy as this kid is. Don't forget that proficiency bonus. See you next week, everyone.
Good night.
Literally my dream. Someone